Hello there and welcome to Core TV News on the hour at 4 with me, Sabena Izuku. President Goodluck Jonathan has sworn in 8 new ministers and handed them cabinet positions with just over 2 months to the end of his first tenure. The brief ceremony took place in the council chambers of the presidential villa before the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. In his address, President Goodluck Jonathan likened the newly appointed ministers to players injected into a football team at the last minute of a major game. He consequently announced Musiliu Obanikoro as Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. Patricia Akwashiki, Nasarawa State, is to take charge of the Ministry of Information, while Joe Dalami, Taraba State, is new Minister of Labour and Productivity.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the federal government of Nigeria, and I will preserve, protect, and defend the institutions of the federal government of Nigeria.
First, let me, on behalf of the federal government, congratulate those of you who just took an oath of office this morning to join us to see how we will serve our nation. For the ministers, this is an injury time. It's like bringing in a player when you have just 5 minutes to go in a football match. So everybody wants to know what that player will do, the magic the player will perform within that short period. The player himself will be struggling to at least kick the ball before the end of the game. So you are coming in at a quite challenging period. I believe that a number of people will not envy you because government is coming to a close, but sometimes it's even good to come at this time because you are now well exposed to all Nigerians. Your dancing steps will be watched by everybody, and we believe that you will dance well.
Patricia Akwashiki, Minister of Information. Dr. Nicholas Adam, Minister of Foreign Affairs 1. Colonel Augustine Akubundo, Minister of State Defense. Engineer Fidelis Wanko, Minister of State Health. Mrs. Awa Lawan, Minister of State Niger Delta Affairs. Kenneth Kubani, Minister of State Trade, Industry, Trade and Investment. Senator Joel Kane, Minister of Labour and Productivity. Senator Obanikoro, Minister of State Foreign Affairs 2.
A former Chief of Defense Staff, Alani Akinriade, says the endorsement of President Goodluck Jonathan by the Yoruba social-political group Afenifere is wrong. He said while members of the organization might have their political leanings, it was wrong for some Yoruba leaders to use the platform to canvass for votes for a particular candidate. Akinriade, who was a Chief of Army Staff before becoming a Chief of Defense Staff, said this at a meeting of the Yoruba Assembly in Ibadan. He said the Yoruba agenda brought before the National Conference failed. The general also faulted the pro-Jonathan Yoruba leaders who said that the implementation of the report would benefit the people. He noted that the recommendation of the confab were below Yoruba's targets and wondered why the leaders would base their endorsement on that. He said Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko, who has been holding several post-confab conferences, was only pushing the agenda of the People's Democratic Party. Akinriade wondered why Jonathan had not implemented at least one of the recommendations of the confab over 6 months after the conference was held. The People's Democratic Party says the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, and the party national leader, Bola Tinubu, are on a collision course over threat by the former head of state to prosecute the former Lagos state governor for corruption. It claims that Buhari has already issued an ultimatum to Tinubu to forfeit up to 50% of his property and money if he wins the March 28 elections. Spokesman for the PDP campaign council, Femi Fani-Kayode, said at a news conference in Abuja that the ultimatum has since caused a rift between the two APC leaders.
Buhari is said to be overwhelmed by the staggering allegations and compelling evidence that has been documented and exposed in the last few weeks about Tinubu and his closest associates. Our sources have revealed that General Buhari has resolved that in the event of his winning the presidential elections, he will issue an ultimatum to Bola Tinubu. The ultimatum will be that either Tinubu would forfeit and give up 50% of the money, property, and illicit gains that he has fleeced and garnered from Lagos State over the last 16 years, or he would face the full wrath of the law and be prosecuted for corruption. It is clear from this that all is not well in the APC's camp, and that their de facto leader, Bola Tinubu, and their presidential candidate, Muhammadu Buhari, are on a collision course. These two people and their party simply cannot be trusted with the future of Nigeria.
Renowned political economist Pat Utomi has urged Igbos and Nigerians at large to vote for the All Progressive Congress presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari, whom he said will restore hope to Nigeria. Pat Utomi, who is a founder member of the Indibo Lagos group, said Igbos have been branded as people who sell their votes to the highest bidder. He said this during the unveiling of Pan-Igbo group, Igbo Ekeuli, in Lagos. He therefore urged the people of the Southeast to vote wisely in order to shed this reputation. While fielding questions to journalists at the event, he said Buhari's governors can be likened to what happened in the United States in 1981 when the Americans were unhappy with Jimmy Carter's administration. He also added Nigerians don't have any alternative in the person of Muhammadu Buhari. The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, has promised to ensure measures that will check the spate of violence against women in the country if he emerges winner of the March 28 presidential polls. Buhari reiterated this during a town hall meeting with women in Lagos. Buhari assured them that he will ensure a legal framework that will further guarantee their rights. He says corruption, insecurity, and bad governance remain the bane of the nation and will be decisively tackled. And away from that, the APC presidential candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari, has assured Lagos State of the special status it deserves if voted into office as president of the federal government of Nigeria. Buhari made this assurance during a town hall meeting with artisans in Lagos. APC presidential candidate also pledged to refund the state government of all expenses on federal government projects in the state. We'll bring you more of this in a subsequent bulletin. And away from that, and still to come, the United States is backing the Independent National Electoral Commission in its quest to use the permanent voters card and the smart card readers for the March 28th and April 11th elections. Just stay with us.
Morning, Mr. President. Morning, sir. How are you, Mr. President? How are you, sir? How is the campaign? How are you?
We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. Martin Luther King, Jr.
Welcome back to the news. For more information, you can reach us on our social media platform, and that's on facebook.com/CourtTV News, and on our Twitter handle @CourtTVNewsNG. For news updates and other programs, you can stream us live on youtube.com/CourtTV and the news. The United States is backing the Independent National Electoral Commission in its quest to use the permanent voters' cards and the smart card readers for the March 28th and April 11th elections. The Americans expressed their position in a statement issued by the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria. It quotes U.S. Vice President Joe Biden as saying that he has spoken with the President Goodluck Jonathan of the People's Democratic Party and the presidential candidates of the All Progressive Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, on the forthcoming presidential elections. Biden was said to have commended President Goodluck Jonathan and General Muhammadu Buhari for expressing their commitment to a peaceful process by endorsing the Abuja Accord on non-violence. He, however, expressed concern about violence in some parts of the country and re-emphasized the need for both presidential candidates to call their supporters to order. Away from that, accusations and counter-accusations have continued to trail the politically motivated violence recorded at Ilase Ijesha in Osun East Senatorial District. The All Progressive Congress, however, says it will drag the alleged mastermind of the violence and PDP candidate for Osun East Senatorial District, Francis Fadaunsi, to court over the violence. Those who spoke on behalf of the APC also urged the police to do the needful, but added that the ICC and self-help is seen as a last resort.
When will Nigeria police carry out investigation of the various allegations leveled against Fadaunsi by APC? We are calling on the Inspector General of Police, the Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 11 in Oshogbo, to wade in and curb the reckless, incessant attack on our party members and supporters by Fadaunsi and his thugs.
If the police here refuse to act on all our complaints, we will not hesitate to bring this matter before the ICC, and it should be told Taylor's case is still fresh in our memory.
We cannot continue this way. Like we don't want to be blamed. We've asked our members to be calm, but there is a limit to this. We've asked our members to be calm and be law-abiding. I want to repeat myself. We've asked our members to be calm and to be law-abiding. At the same time, the Criminal Code of the Federal Republic of Nigeria recognizes self-defense and recognizes defense of dwelling premises. We will not ask people not to defend themselves. Even if you chase a cat and it gets to the wall, it's going to face you.
Inspector General of Police Suleiman Abba has ordered watertight security around all key and vulnerable points across the country. This, according to a police statement, include internally displaced persons camps, media houses, service providers installations, INEC headquarters and offices nationwide. Others are banks, hospitals, NYSC lodges, hotels and government offices. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu explained that the move is part of measures to ward off any possible attempt by hoodlums to attack these installations and public places. The police authorities also want the citizenry to collaborate with other officers and men as they perfected strategies for a hitch-free March 28th and April 11th, 2015 elections. And away from that, as the electorate prepare for the general elections, Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola says a vote for the All Progressive Congress is the only way to sustain the tempo of development in Lagos. Fashola disclosed this at the commissioning of Cardiac and Renal Center at Bagada General Hospital. Abiola Oluwole's report is presented from our studio.
Of the people of Lagos, as my ancestors, I declare this hospital
The 67-bed cardiac and renal center, according to Fashola, is to complement existing health facilities in Lagos. He says with the center in place, the era of exporting Nigerians abroad to seek medical attention is gradually coming to an end. He added that a vote for the APC governorship candidate in Lagos will continue the tempo of development in the state.
The next phase of this project, the cancer center, the support services and all of that, is a part of the dream that I cannot complete. My time is up. But the road to achieving it is clear. But I'm very happy to see this day, because we have taken a very big first step, and the journey can continue from here in tested and in experienced hands. I can now look forward to my old age with confidence that if anything happens to my heart or to my kidneys, that I have used the period of my service in Lagos to build a facility that can respond to my needs.
The center, amongst other facilities, according to the State Commissioner for Health, Jide Idris, has 24 dialysis stations, 2 surgical theaters, and lecture rooms for students.
We have noted from our statistics that cardiovascular diseases and renal diseases are very prevalent in our environment. We have also noted the dearth of resources, facilities, human resources that are prevalent in our country today. For instance, for a population of 170 million people, we have just about 50 centers providing renal dialysis. You can imagine the gap.
A successful management of health facility, according to analysts, may give the country an inroad into becoming a medical hub in sub-Saharan Africa.
Now let's turn attention to Imo State, where a popular Douglas Road located at the center of Owerri, Imo State, has been the hub business activities in the state. However, the bad condition of the road of recent has been a source of concern to business owners and road users as they lament its present state. Our correspondent, Ajibade Awufesol, tells us more on the situation report.
Yeah, I'm standing on the popular Douglas Road, one of the major roads in Owerri City. We have a lot of transactions, both transportations here and there. But the question is, the road condition is degenerating as the day goes by, making the road users to undergo a lot of heavy traffic before they could actually get to their destinations.
While residents of Owerri complain over the deplorable state of the popular Douglas Road, top on their list of complaints is the deposit of waste and garbage along the road for days with no attempt by the relevant government sanitation agency to clear it up, thus posing health hazard to the residents and business owners.
For some times now, it's better we do it to do in order, but the hold up that this place causes is it gives us a lot of that is a lot of problems. So we will try to do it. If the governor will help us and do the road very well, we will do very
down to the road management. In most cases, this Douglas Road, the road management is nice. Stuff like that, because you can see now the drainage system is not really working well, and it's really affecting us. So stuff like that isn't good. So that kind of a thing, just we appeal to the government to, yeah, it does. Once there is rain, this place won't be comfortable. Won't be comfortable here.
There is a lot of things that is not supposed to be in the heart of the state, especially the dustbin we are seeing there. So what we expect is for the interest of the government. We want the government to come to the people of Douglas and at least put a rate in place for them so that business activities can boom, as well as making sure that SMEs work to their expectation to ensure that the area is clean and everywhere in Douglas should be clean since it's a commercial area.
The residents along the road also complained of insecurity both during the day and at night as one of the major dilemma they are faced with.
Then another thing in there I would like to let the people know in the nightlife, because I also live here. In the nightlife there are some bad boys that used to maybe between that St. Paul's to down to the same road, there are bad boys over there that snatch people's phone, snatch money from people, 30 people's life in the night. Some of them do it in the morning, in the afternoon time, in form of these 419 people. But in the night, you see them, they will be coming to be disturbing people.
They earnestly call for government intervention as the situation already is getting out of hands. Ajibade Awofeso, Call TV News, Owerri.
Over to some business news. The Federation Accounts Allocation Committee has shared 522 billion naira among the 3 tiers of government as revenue for February 2015. Minister of State for Finance, Bashir Yuguda, disclosed this on Wednesday night at the end of a FAC meeting in Abuja. A breakdown released by the minister showed that the amount includes statutory or revenue of 401.4 billion naira as well as 6.3 billion naira refunded by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC). There are still concerns on dwindling revenue in the aftermath of further decline in oil prices and VAT receipts.
For the month of March, the value added tax, which is VAT, the gross amount is 58,257 million, which will be shared according to the sharing formula also, where the states get the lion's share of the money for distribution under VAT allocation. So the grand summary, including VAT and for the month of March also, there is also a refund by NNPC to federal government for 6.3 billion, which brings the total amount distributable for the month of March to 522 billion and 54 million. By this figure, we have the difference between February and March is higher now by 21 billion. So for this month, it is much better than the month of February.
Still to come, a gunman who carried out an attack that killed 17 tourists at the Tunis Bardo Museum. The authorities already knew him. There's more on this after the break. To stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.
Welcome back. And outside Nigeria, a gunman who carried out an attack that killed 17 tourists at Tunis Bardo Museum was known to the authority. Tunisian Prime Minister has said. Habib SC says that the security services had flagged up one of the attackers, Yassine Labidi, but were not aware of anything specific or of any links to known militant groups. 2 Tunisians, a police officer among them, also died in Wednesday attack. Both gunmen were killed, but the search is on for a suspect linked to them. 2 or 3 accomplices are still at large, an Interior Ministry spokesman said. He said both attackers were probably Tunisians. The second gunman has been named as Hatem Kashaonu. Officials say more than 40 people, including tourists and Tunisians, were injured. Speaking after the attack, Tunisia's President Beji Caid said the country was in a war with terror. At the time of the attack, deputies in the neighboring parliamentary building were discussing anti-terrorism legislation. Parliament was evacuated but later reconvened for an extraordinary session in the evening. Saida Ounisi, a member of the parliament, said the security services had said Parliament was the original target of the attack. Many Tunisians took to the streets of central Tunis to protest against the attack, waving flags and lighting candles outside the museum. And that's it. Other news at 4. Do join us at the top of the hour for Global News. I am Sabana Izuku, and thank you very much indeed for watching.